So James Franco admits to having snoo snoo with his students, and he admits that was wrong. So basically, he says, I did sleep with students, and that was wrong. Dun, dun, dun. So the This is the End star admitted in a wide ranging interview with SiriusXM's Jess Cagle that he thought sleeping with students of his acting school, Studio 4, was acceptable because it was consensual but denied starting the program to have access to them. Now, here's the thing that's interesting, right? Because, like, when you are an extremely famous actor who happens to be good looking and have a lot of money, why not just go respond to girls who are probably messaging you directly, wanting to just blatantly sleep with you? Because you got to think about it, right? Someone in his position, with his amount of money, his amount of influence, probably has a lot of fans that would probably do almost anything for him. So why not interact with people like that who you know like you blatantly so much that they're probably gonna just sleep with you, right? Instead of like a weird situation where you're like in this weird realm of like power difference. Like it's like a very like off-putting thing because you're basically using your position to basically kind of force your way onto people, which is like really weird. It's like very different than someone who's maybe just adoring you because they're like a fan of yours, I guess. Either way, it's all kind of weird, right? But let's get right into the story again. Look, I'll admit I did sleep with students. I didn't sleep with anybody in my sex scenes class, but over the course of my teaching, I did sleep with students, and that was wrong. Franco 43 explained to Keiko. And also, pretty much the reason why we're even like going over this is because of this, right? Is that basically he settled this for $2.2 million, dollars, allegedly, right? That's a lot of money. Okay, that's a lot of money. But like I said, it's not why I started the school, and I wasn't the person that selected people to be in the class. So it wasn't a master plan on my part, but yes, there were certain instances where what I was in a consensual thing with a student and I shouldn't have been. Franco acknowledged that he realized sleeping with his students was poor form after having conversations with other people about the concept. I suppose at the time my thinking was if it's consensual, okay. Of course, I knew, talking to other people, other teachers or whatever, like, yeah, it's probably not a cool thing, he reflected. At the time, I was not clear headed, as I've said, so I guess it just comes down to my criteria was like, if this is consensual, like, I think it's cool. We're all adults. So, now, this is the thing, right? Like he says this, right? But just take this part of this statement. If this is consensual. If. Why the hell are you saying if? Right? If it's consensual, it would just be consensual. You wouldn't have to say if. So that's just sketchy right off the bat. So ex students Sarah Tither Kaplan and Tony Gall filed a lawsuit in the Los Angeles County Superior Court in October 2019 claiming Franco and other instructors pressured women to get naked for auditions while dangling opportunities for movie roles that rarely materialized. See, again, here's the thing, right? Like, this is the thing that I don't really understand, right? We're talking about someone who has a massive amount of influence, right? Has like a massive fan base, right? So, what brings you to do something like this, allegedly, even though he admitted to it? Like, what brings you to do something like this instead of just being like, Like, hey, I saw your message. You want to sleep with me? We're both adults. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Like, that seems like a lot easier route, a lot cheaper route for him as well, in both time and money and like risk. Like, why wouldn't he just do that compared to something like this? Like, it just it's crazy, right? By engaging in widespread, inappropriate, and sexually charged behavior towards female students, Franco created an environment of harassment and sexual exploitation at the school, claims the suit, first reported by the New York Times. And again, I don't understand why someone in his position would even resort to something like this. So the former Freaks and Geeks star attorney denied any wrongdoing at the time in a statement to the Post. This is not the first time that these claims have been made, and they have already been debunked. James will not only fully defend himself, but will also seek damages from the plaintiffs and their attorneys for filing this scurrilous, publicity-seeking lawsuit. The statement said. However, according to Variety, Franco settled the lawsuit for $2,235,000 in June 2021. And Franco's Studio 4 closed permanently in 2017. I let a lot of people down. I let my students down. I hosted the Oscars. I let them down. I let my coworkers down on my movies, Franco told Cagle. During the interview, Franco also admitted he's battled sex addiction, and before his current girlfriend, Isabel Paxad, he cheated on everyone. So basically, it sounds like this guy just couldn't keep it in his pants ever until I guess recently. But still, one, it's wrong for him to pressure anyone into doing something that they don't really want to do, right? That's just wrong. Number two, this cost him in reputation, this cost him in time, this cost him in money, and this cost him just overall point of view on the guy, right? Feel free to give your thoughts on this situation. What are your thoughts on someone in his position with the amount of money that he has, with the amount of influence that he has? What are your thoughts on this, right? Because here's the thing, right? He's someone with so much influence and so many fans that are adults that probably just want to sleep with him. Why wouldn't he just go down that route where maybe he is being practically hunted by, I don't know, like maybe models that are just like chasing him? Possibly, right? Because there's probably a lot of models or something like that that are like super, super, super attractive that are probably interested in him. Why wouldn't he go down that route? Because it seems like it'd be a lot easier on him, a lot less obviously cost and money because of the whole settlement, but then also just like you wouldn't go down the route of where you're basically abusing people. Like it just doesn't really make any sense. At least if you look at the situation in more of like a common sense type of perspective. Like it just doesn't really make sense. Like why are you doing all this sort of stuff? Why are you creating a school for all this weird crap when you could just be like, hey, you look hot. I saw your message. Let's go do something. Like it just doesn't like click. So I'm thinking based off that he probably was getting really warped in the brain to the point where he kept trying to find crazier and crazier and crazier things to do just so that he could, you know, do whatever. Basically get his rocks off or whatever. Like he just kept on like escalating it and escalating it and escalating it. It's basically like if you like candy, right? Like if you like eating like a specific type of candy, you want to change that candy to maybe something even sweeter because you got bored of the previous candy, I guess, right? But still, like it just doesn't make sense. But here's the thing: for the girls that got this money, right, the $2,235,000, my financial suggestions, right? If I were in their situation, would be this. I would immediately pay off all debt that I have. I would create an emergency fund and I would immediately put these things into investments that will produce some sort of income. And the reason why I would want to do that if I was in their position is because this is a massive amount of money. This is potentially life changing amounts of money for their situation, right? But you got to think about it too. Like they were basically students within like this like acting type of thing. A lot of actors or a lot of people who are trying to be actors basically make nothing, right? Or below the poverty line. So if you do end up getting this windfall, you want to set it up to where you can keep on trying to work on your acting thing if you really believe in that, if you really believe that you should be in movies and all that stuff, if you believe that your skill sets are that point, or like you want to work on your skill sets to actually be able to do that eventually, then use this money to give yourself the freedom of options. So that's what I would suggest. Because like here's the thing, right? This is the main thing that people need to understand when it comes to like personal finance, specifically with money. Money is a tool that can give you options when you have it and when you have more of it. But if you have none of it, you're basically screwed and you're going to be forced to do things that you probably don't want to do, right? Which might be another part of this where like maybe they were so desperate with, potentially like finding a path for them to get into the, movie industry, that they felt like this was the only way to improve their situation by engaging these things with Franco, right? Which is, a scary thought. You don't want anyone to be in a position where they feel like they are forced to do something, or where they are so desperate in a situation where they feel like that's their only route and they're more vulnerable to things like this, right? So make sure you just give yourself a lot of options so you can't be taken advantage of at all by anyone, and that you can improve your skills so that you can eventually end up, becoming a great movie actor if you really want to do that. And nowadays, you could probably just create your own TV show or your own film and really do something great. So, for those ladies that end up maybe potentially seeing this in the future, just try to set yourself up to where you have options. And for anyone else who ends up getting some sort of lawsuit due to whatever, like insurance lawsuit or whatever, try to set up your life to where you have the freedom of options, right? Like that should be like your main goal. That's the main reason why we push getting out of debt so hard, is because when you're out of debt, it gives you so much more options as to what you can do with your money and just do with your life. For example, right? A lot of people end up having car payments. Imagine what you could do with that car payment every single month if you were not paying that car payment. And like the average car, like household car payment, whatever, is like $500 per month. Imagine what you could do with $500 per month. You could go on trips. You could go out. You could probably save up for a Rolex. You could save up for your kid's college fund, right? You could just blow it all on Las Vegas, right? On the slot machines, or like playing poker or all that kind of stuff, right? You could, I don't know, maybe get some sort of like plastic surgery if that's something that you're interested in. Like there's a lot of things that you could do with that money if you were not forced to have to pay that. So that's why you really want to get out of debt, so that you just free up so much cash that it gives you so many options available to you, right? Like imagine if you like went to the grocery store and literally did not care about how much you spent going to the grocery store, because you knew no matter what you spent, you're never going to be in the negative. Like that's the type of thinking that you want to eventually get to. Like that's the type of like financial situation that you want to be able to get to, where no matter what you spent your money on, you're good. You're financially secure. So if you want to learn how to get out of debt, go to 40inbox.com, because again, getting out of debt just gives you so much more options available to you.